office. Congrats.
Jordan.
Congratulations. Kavanaugh. Hey, what's so urgent?
Quentin Baker.
The baseball player? He's dead?
No, he's been accused of rape. Accusers in there waiting to be examined.
She's still alive? Then what am I doing here?
Walcott wanted you. Your office knows more about crimes against the human body than any hospital in the city. And I need to know everything that's been in and on that woman. And everything that hasn't.
You think she's lying?
Do you know how much Baker's worth? Oh, good, you're here. We'll be working with Detective Simmons on this. Everything by the book. I can't have anything come back and bite me.
Look,
It's okay, don't worry about it.
Shannon, I'm Lou Simmons. I'm the detective assigned to your case. This is Dr. Kavanaugh.
Jordan, I'll be examining you. Look, I know this is probably the last thing you want done, so I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible. Just talk you through everything I'm doing, okay?
Are these the clothes you were wearing when it happened?
No. They're in there.
Okay, even the underwear?
How could he do this?
This isn't me. I never liked the attention from the fans. From all the women. I never sought it out. I love my wife.
I know this is awkward, Mr. Baker. Would you like some privacy?
I'm afraid I can't allow my client to be alone with you.
It's your call.
I'm not a rapist.
Lower your trousers, please.
You said that you saw him in the hotel bar?
Yes, with his friends. There he was. It was Quentin Baker right in front of me, and he got up to leave, and I followed him. My friend thought I was crazy, but I had had a few drinks, so I thought that it would be a laugh.
People were all over me at the bar. People who think they know me. So I left. And suddenly there was someone from Oregon State, someone who didn't seem to want anything from me.
I was so drunk, I just made up stuff. That I went to OSU, and I was at the game where he crashed through the right field wall. He seemed to like me, so I talked my way into his room for a drink.
So you were pretty drunk at this point.
Sorry. I know this is uncomfortable.
What did you do next, Shannon?
I slept with her.
Quentin.
No, it was wrong, and I have to live with my mistake. Deal with my marriage, but I didn't rape her.
She didn't say no. She didn't ask you to stop.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Hey, it's okay. You can tell us what happened.
The last drink must have hit me. Because I passed out. 1 minute we're talking, and the next thing that I remember, I'm standing in the shower, and I'm naked, and I'm sore. And then Quentin just handed me my clothes, and he threw me out like I was some piece of trash.
We had sex. She took a shower, and then she left. That was it.
He raped me. I know he did.
But you don't remember any of it.
He's just gonna get away with it, isn't he?
Obviously isn't true.
Chicago loses Baker, they fall apart. He's got 2 Golden Gloves and a batting title. I mean, the kid is hitting .472 with 6 home runs, and we're only a week into the season.
They say he's the next A-Rod. Have you heard what's coming out about the accuser? 2 drunk driving arrests, history of mental illness.
Which probably means she's seen a therapist who hasn't. It's disgusting how the press is trying to discredit her.
At least they haven't leaked their name. Baker's sex life has been talked about on every channel.
Did you see his press conference? How does a guy confess to infidelity and end up looking so sympathetic?
Anyone can look sympathetic. Doesn't mean they're telling the truth.
Yeah, but that goes for the accuser too. I mean, I know it's not politically correct to say, but the truth is that there are some women who make false accusations. Am I right, Woodrow?
I don't know. Hey, Jordan, can we talk?
Oh, nothing to talk about.
So, Dr. M said you got a case for us.
What the hell?
Ice. Blimey.
What is it?
The Iceman Cometh. That's a play, right? found him on Mount Washington.
So why'd they bring him here?
Military rescuers saw a piece of the chair when they cut him out. The ID number came from a T-33 fighter plane out of Westover near Chicopee.
He's a fighter pilot?
Yep, circa 1950.
Got it? Yep.
He's been in there since the Korean War. Air Force trained pilots in Westover ran simulations up by the Canadian border. Dog tags are missing from the chain.
Did they find the rest of his plane?
No trace.
Well, let's get him under the heel lamps, throw him out at an even pace so we don't disturb the body, try and get ID.
Let me ask you guys, once this thing melts, there's no chance that he's gonna... Yeah, I didn't think so. Huh. What is it?
It's his family. Wife, his son.
Cute kid.
He's probably 60 by now.
He never got to know his old man.
You're wearing the tie I gave you. It looks handsome.
Yeah, I read that vertical patterns look good on television. Case of the century and all.
It's so great that Walcott picked you. It's what you've been waiting for.
No, it's a nightmare, Lily. Cases against celebrities are always stacked against the prosecution. Walcott hates me.
Oh, you are going to do great.
Walcott. May I please use your office for a moment? Yes, ma'am.
So, how are we doing?
We've got Baker's trace on Shannon, but it doesn't really help us. He already admitted he had sex with her.
No defensive wounds?
No trace of Baker under her fingernails. But she said she was out cold, so she wasn't really fighting back.
What do we have?
A couple of Baker's hairs on her shirt. Her underwear had traces of semen. Condom could have slipped or broken. I'm testing it right now for his DNA.
About this morning,
Baker's rape kit's clean. No trace of Shannon on him.
is that unusual?
Yeah, it is unusual.
He took a shower. Said he used a condom.
What about the girls' talks?
Doesn't look like she was drugged.
Oh, there are no roofies. Just Vicodin and antidepressants mixed with alcohol. Lots of it. Blood alcohol was .08 7 hours after she was done drinking.
No wonder she passed out. I'm surprised she remembered anything.
Her behavior isn't the issue here. The issue is what Baker did to her in that hotel room. Her exam came back with vaginal bruising, lacerations.
Which could have happened during consensual sex. Without evidence of a date rape drug.
Semen, not a match for Baker's.
So she's lying.
Well, she said she was passed out. Could be Baker's covering for someone else.
Not someone else, someone after. See, there are two stains on her underwear. Condom, lubricant, and semen. Drying patterns are different.
So they happen at different times, and the semen's on top.
So whoever's semen we just identified had sex with her after.
Okay, let me understand this. You're drunk, you chase Quentin Baker up to his hotel suite, you go in willingly, you have sex, which you don't remember, but you feel was not consensual, then you go home and have sex again?
I know you're scared, but you gotta tell us what happened. Did someone else hurt you?
No. I slept with my boyfriend, Drew.
You know, most women don't get turned on after they've been raped.
It's not like that.
Well, help us out, Shannon.
He wanted to have sex. Okay. I was a wreck. I was afraid that he was gonna
Think that you were cheating on him.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Shannon, you let us read your psych file. Prone to histrionics, overly attention-seeking. Quentin Baker sure would get you a lot of attention, not to mention the money.
No, this is not about money.
No, this is about stopping a rapist, which we all want to do. But that's why you gotta tell us everything.
I can't go to court if I don't have a case that a jury is going to believe.
Look, I know my life isn't perfect, okay? I messed things up, but
I thought it didn't matter what I wore or what I drank. I thought that people were supposed to stand up to animals like him. If I don't, isn't he just going to do it again? He's going to do it to some other girl like me.
Hey, spoke to the people at Westover. They have no idea who was on that plane. Their personnel records were destroyed in a fire back in the 70s. What are you doing?
Trying to get a dental x-ray. Nigel seems to think we're going to find dental records from 55 years ago.
Why do you have to be so negative?
I'm not being negative. But he's been dead for 5 decades. We can wait until he's thawed to start ID.
Bacteria on this bloke has been lying dormant for 55 years. Once he thaws, he's going to decompose exponentially. 24, 36 hours, his face won't be recognizable at all.
That is not going to stop our ID.
He was preserved for a reason, Bug. He has a son. Now, we find him, and we can let the boy see his father as he was, as he is. Now, you might not care about that, but I do.
What's eating him?
It's a nice gift.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I already feel zen, totally relaxed.
I meant hers, not mine. You should have talked to her.
I tried to at the morgue, but everybody was around.
I meant before today. Simmons. Her boyfriend tried to call for hours. He got nervous, came over, got the manager to open the door. He's giving a statement. She didn't need to do this.
Kind of tough when you feel like the whole world's against you.
I was just trying to get to the truth.
This was staged. Her hyoid bone is broken. She was strangled.
He rapes my girlfriend. He does this to shut her up. And you're still waiting to pick him up?
We're still collecting evidence.
Well, he's got a game tomorrow, right? Wouldn't want to get in the way of that.
No. Whoever did this to Shannon is going to pay. I promise you. I promise you.
Liver temps 92 degrees, putting time of death at approximately 3 hours ago.
CSU has nothing. I'm gonna canvass the building and see if anyone saw or heard anything.
He crushed her windpipe so she wouldn't have been able to scream. 2 broken fingers on her right hand trying to get his hands off her neck. You didn't think she was a victim before? Just making sure you know it now.
Press is out there clamoring for a statement. What do we have?
Quentin Baker's accuser conveniently silenced. To me, I'm not much for coincidence.
Any evidence linking him to this? What? What's that?
Cleaning solvent, killer, wiped down everything.
So we've got nothing to tie this to Baker.
No, we have motive.
It's not enough.
Blow cards exchange. If there's nothing to Baker here, we look for trace from Shannon on him.
How long till we can get a warrant?
Based on what? I need evidence to get a warrant.
We need a warrant to get the evidence.
Jordan and I will talk to him. We'll see what we can get.
I'm sorry she's dead. After what she did to Quinn. Yo, bro. Cagney and Lacey are here to see you. No offense. You two want anything?
No thanks, Mr.
People call me Hopper.
Hopper. Do you work for Mr. Baker?
Work for him? No. I just look out for him. Ever since Kenny Knox took a swing at him after Quinn nailed him for a grand slam. Kenny always was a bad sport. That was back in the 6th grade.
It must be nice to have friends to protect you.
Quinn's one of the good guys. He didn't do this.
Mr. Baker, to be clear, we have no warrant. This is a voluntary interview.
And to be clear, no more samples. My client's been humiliated enough.
But I do want to help. I can't believe she's dead.
It might be easier if we did this alone.
No. I know you want to think Quentin hurt that woman, but he didn't do it. Not the rape, not the murder.
We appreciate the awkwardness of your position, and...
It's not awkward. Yes, he's made some mistakes, but we're dealing with them. And I know Quentin was with me last night.
I picked her up from Logan. We went to dinner. We were there for hours. Had a lot to talk about.
Quinn's the last person who would want her dead. And now that woman's accusations are going to follow him forever.
No, not necessarily. We're going to turn over every stone to find out who raped and killed Shannon Page. If it isn't you, I'll prove it.
Oh.
Well, I know what your attorney says, but let me check you for trace.
It would rule out you being at the crime scene.
I have nothing to hide.
We got the flight bag out. No ID, just emergency rations. Oh, you and Nigel.
Amazing. This guy looks like he died yesterday.
Yeah, I carbonated the ice. And given the core temperature and the heavy water hydrogen molecules, he had been in there for 55 years. And that would make him about 79.
Actually, he's 81. He was born in 1924. Calvin Coolidge was president. George Gershwin wrote Rhapsody in Blue, and the glorious Doris Day was born.
How do you know he was born in 1924?
Where there's a will, there's a way. I found a registry for families looking for MIA soldiers. If you went missing around that time, I emailed the photo we found to their families. His name is Lieutenant Robert Nicholson. His son is on his way in.
I remember the day my father took this. He had this old Kodak Brownie. I always wanted to play with it. You can't tell from the photo, but we were at the zoo. He liked to take me and Mom there and pretend we were on safari in Africa or some exotic place he visited in World War II.
How old were you when he disappeared?
Oh, 5.
The Air Force told you about the crash?
We knew there was a plane missing. They didn't know if it crashed or was stolen or... I like to think that he had hit his head and forgotten who he was. But he was alive, out there somewhere. I just couldn't picture him dead. Could I see him now?
Of course, yes.
Sure. Sure.
This must be difficult for you, especially with him looking younger then.
That's not him.
But he had your picture.
All my life I've waited. I thought that finally I'd know. You should have left well enough alone.
Hey, what do you make of this?
It's a particulate of some kind, dirt maybe. You couldn't get it out in trace?
I couldn't see it, obscured by lividity.
You wanted to see me?
Shannon's cervix was bruised. Given the red blood cell count, injury occurred 2 days ago at the same time she was in Quentin's hotel room. These bruises did not happen during consensual sex. You know how painful that is?
Well, Detective Simmons told me he didn't find any trace of Shannon on Baker, and his alibi checked out.
Yeah, for the murder, not for the rape.
She had sex with her boyfriend after. I mean, if she was in that much pain.
Well, there was Vicodin in her system. Maybe she took it for the pain.
And it wasn't just some romp. You heard her. The boyfriend wanted sex. She was afraid to say no. This girl was broken. She was looking for comfort wherever she could find it.
You're speculating.
She was victimized and victimized and victimized again.
You want the bruised cervix to be proof, but like it or not, it can happen during consensual sex. And without a victim's testimony to persuade a jury, otherwise, it's just not proof enough. Shannon is dead. Frankly, her story and her motive were clouded when she was alive to defend herself. You want to get this girl justice? Focus on solving her murder.
You're afraid. Now, Walcott threw this case at you because it's a minefield, and you've been looking for any excuse to dump it since you called me to the hospital.
That's not true.
You let Detective Simmons shred the accuser. Keep the stink off your own hands, make it all go away, save your own political life.
Jordan.
Or maybe it's just not important that a woman was raped.
This is a murder case, not a rape case. And since you don't seem to understand that, Dr. Macy, I'd like to request that Dr. Kavanaugh be reassigned. She's obstructing the investigation. Or pull her off, or I'll call Walcott, let you have this conversation with her.
Garrett.
I think it's best if I take over.
Hey. I heard about what happened.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
I do. You attacked Jeffrey. Jordan, he's turning himself inside out on this.
I'm sorry, Lily, but Shannon Page...
was victimized and raped. But Jeffrey is not about to commit career suicide to satisfy your agenda. Not everyone is you. If he had a case he could prosecute, he would.
You okay?
Sure. You?
Got carried away. Dragged in a man who spent his whole life searching for his father, and I crushed him. Guess it was the idea of reuniting father and son. Happy ending. Not like real life.
Not like with your father.
He's still alive. And I haven't seen him in a half dozen years. Doesn't mean I don't wish things were different.
Hey. The Army was finally able to match the dental records you got off of your Iceman. Lieutenant Frank Rogotsky, born August 19th, 1924.
And the family?
He was an only child. Never married. Parents are dead.
Found after all this time and no one to claim him.
Or mourn him.
Rogotsky was a member of the 13 Bombardment Group based out of Westover, same as Lieutenant Nicholson.
Well, that can't be a coincidence.
No. Nicholson was on the plane, too. T-33s can be flown alone, but they have a jump seat, navigator, pilot.
I suppose it's possible.
He's still up there, in the snow. We're gonna find him.
I didn't believe her, that she was raped.
A lot of people didn't believe her.
Jordan did. I just have a tough time with people who unnecessarily put themselves at risk, especially women.
The price for making a mistake shouldn't be rape or murder.
I know. We got anything else from the body?
Yeah. We've got fermented nightshade and a skuro. It was in her hand deep. The killer missed it.
What's a skuro?
Cuban tobacco leaves.
Tobacco as in cigar? You were never in her apartment. That's the story you want to stick to.
I know what you're trying to do. Trying to shake me up so you can pin a murder on Quinn.
No, actually, we're trying to pin the murder on you.
May I?
It's a nasty habit. Did she grab this from you when you choked her?
Because it was on her hands, along with DNA from whoever smoked it.
Look, I was there, but I didn't hurt her. Okay, I offered her money to leave Quint alone. She didn't want it.
And you got pissed. And you strangled her.
No, she grabbed my cigar and threw it. Look, Quint's my best friend. I know he didn't rape her and I didn't murder her.
I think that you took care of Quinn's problems just like you did back in Little League.
Yeah, only they're your problems now. Intimidation, blackmail, obstruction of justice, murder.
There's a pizza guy.
A pizza guy. There's always a pizza guy.
He saw me leave. That's why I left. He rang. So I took off.
And you're just remembering this now?
I've been retained to represent Mr. Hopper. He has no further comment.
I spoke to Air Force Rescue. They won't be able to search for Nicholson's remains for another 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That's absurd.
Yeah. They said something about a war going on, and the fact that he's waited for 55 years, so another 14 days won't kill him.
No, but it's killing his son. Well, no matter. We have pine saplings.
Come again?
Little evergreen trees with needles and cones.
Yes, I know what a pine tree is. What about them?
Rogotsky ejected from the plane because it was going down. Now, factoring in wind speed, probable angle of descent, and where they found Rogotsky, I pulled up a satellite photo. There is a 500-foot swath of pine saplings about 1.5 miles southeast of where they found the body. Something cut down the old growth. These boys have been growing ever since, and from their height, I'd say for about 55 years.
Look, anything could have cut down those trees. It could have been a forest fire, a snowstorm, an avalanche. What are you doing here?
500 feet of old growth was decimated by a T-33 jet fighter traveling 600 miles an hour, descending at a rate of 30 feet per second. Mr. Nicholson's father should be somewhere around here.
You are not seriously going up there.
No, not alone. Peter said he'd take your shift tomorrow. Sydney's taking mine.
What are you doing?
A nationwide search to see if any assault charges have ever been filed against Baker. If he raped her, it's possible he's raped before.
Any luck?
Not yet.
Want me to help out?
Yeah, actually,
What is it?
there was sperm in one of the samples I took.
Didn't we already know that?
This isn't from Shannon, it's from Quentin. The samples I took after the murder. I swabbed his mouth. The sequencer ID'd sperm that's not his.
Quentin had sperm in his mouth? Quentin Baker, all-American boy.
May just be gay.
Why'd he have sex with Shannon then?
Maybe he didn't.
I'm not sure. I can feel my toes. Can you feel your toes?
It's not that cold. We're 1,000 feet down from where they found Grodzki.
Oh, good. I feel so much better.
Just take us someplace warm. Like Tahiti or the Bahamas.
Yeah, well, the ATV at the bottom of the hill waiting for us to come back. All right, I'll stop complaining.
There!
Where is he?
Belts are buckled. Maybe he walked away.
Well, look, that it is.
It's possible.
We're looking at 20,000 acres. I mean, he could have died anywhere. Or maybe he walked out of here and created a whole new life for himself. We'll never know.
He wouldn't have done that to his son.
You don't know this man.
I know something kept him away. He wouldn't have just abandoned them.
Look, I was all for helping out, but we are freezing to death. Can we just let it go? You want to go? Go. And have someone find your body up here 55 years from now. Look, go back to the morgue. Pick up the phone. Call your father.
This has nothing to do with... It's not that simple. He got remarried about 11 months ago. My brother told me. Here's a baby boy, Frankie. Didn't even bother to call me.
Why didn't you tell me?
What is it he hates about me?
It's not about you. He's the...
Maybe you're right, we should go home. Before we have our own headline. Forensic friends found frozen.
Wait. That's it. These guys, they were friends. What if we had crashed? I ejected, you survived. What would you have done?
I would have tried to find you. So that's why the dog tags were missing. Nicholson found his buddy dead and wanted to take something back to his family to bury.
So, we begin our search from where the Iceman cometh.
Oh, yes.
Come in.
How'd it go?
How'd what go?
Talk with Jordan. You went to the morgue last night to talk to her. You didn't talk to her.
Well, I was going to, but she was busy working your rape case.
Working because she's off the case.
It's never stopped Jordan. Listen.
You know what I think? I think that you are afraid to talk to her.
That's ridiculous.
You keep running back to help her.
Oh, we work together.
You are trying to keep your options open.
This guy made it up here after a plane crash. I need to get down to the gym.
There's gotta be an easier way. Now, Nicholson was, here when he found his buddy dead, right? So now he's stuck. He's gotta be rescued.
The flight back. We found emergency food rations. They should have been Fleur's, too. Nicholson took them.
Right, because he had to be seen. So that meant going up, find somewhere flat where he could be spotted. Oh, gee. There's a clearing. Right there.
How did you get back up here?
You said you had nothing to hide. You let me take samples, and you were right. There was no trace from Shannon. But there was trace from another man. Now, Shannon was raped. But I don't think you did it. I don't even think you had sex with her.
You know what you're talking about.
So the question is, who are you covering for?
I think you better leave.
Okay, was it Hopper? Some other player on your team? They threatening to out you? Was
That woman came up to my room to have sex. I had sex with her. That's what happened.
That woman was violated by someone. Her cervix was bruised. You want to know what that feels like? How about having someone pound on your testicles with a hammer? She's lucky she was unconscious. And the DA's office is afraid to prosecute now that she's dead. If you don't come forward, someone gets away with that rape. The rape that led to her murder, so as far as I'm concerned, you're just as guilty as the killer.
I worked my whole life to play baseball. I have sacrificed everything.
Even who you are. What I don't get is why you'd rather be labeled as a rapist than as gay.
Glenn, who is it?
It's no one. Get out of here.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, fine.
Good, because I think we're back to square one. Your murder suspect, Hopper, I think he's telling the truth.
About the pizza guy?
We just ran Shannon's stomach contest, digested pepperoni pizza. And if it came just as Hopper was leaving, he was at least 2 hours gone before she was murdered.
I checked her phone records. Home and cell, she never called for pizza, and there's no box at her house.
Well, whoever killed her cleaned her body. Could have easily taken the trash.
Well, where did it come from, our mystery pizza?
Somebody else ordered it.
As a ruse to get into her house, Or maybe it wasn't a ruse. She told us she loved you, Drew.
Why are you showing me these? We know you were there. We subpoenaed your phone records, your credit card. You ordered a pizza, had it delivered to Shannon's the night she was murdered.
We're testing your car right now. Do you know what we're going to find? Traces of cleaning solvent. The same cleaning solvent we found on Shannon's body, left by her killer.
No, I loved her. Were you jealous? She went to Quentin's to have sex with him? How could you live up to that? How could you compete with someone like him?
She slept with me that night, and she didn't say anything until after she'd gone to the police. If he'd raped her, she wouldn't have done that. I kept telling her to just tell me the truth.
It was the truth. She was raped.
No.
You crushed her windpipe so she couldn't scream for help. You snapped her fingers when she tried to get away from you.
She just should have told me.
Oh, Jordan.
Jordan, I am so sorry if I took your head off yesterday.
No, he's your boyfriend. And he's probably right about there not being a case here.
I heard Shannon's boyfriend confess to the murder.
Even he didn't want to believe her.
Can I have a minute?
Yeah.
Do you know what a locker room's like? You know what they say about faggots or queers? What they do to them?
What do they say about rapists?
Mike Tyson got past it. Kobe was accused, he's still going strong, but Glenn Burke came out. And he was run out of baseball.
So you constructed a lie. Wife, girlfriend.
People get married for different reasons. Deborah, she accepted what I could give her. I didn't have to hide.
You're hiding now?
When Shannon passed out, I called Hopper to get her out of the suite. I was meeting my boyfriend. When I brought him back to the suite, Hopper was still there. He was on top of her.
Raping her.
We were both witnesses. What do you need us to do?
He was still wearing them when we found him. So your father was the navigator. He sat directly behind the pilot. That's why we found the picture, because he taped it to the back of Lieutenant Rogrotsky's seat. So, wherever he was, he could look at you.
Could I have a minute with him?
Of course.
Thank you for bringing him home.
You did a good thing, Nige.
I think of his father, dying of exposure, trying to find his way back to his son. Think I should try to call him again?
Yeah, you could. But you can't make him change. You know, if there's one thing I've learned this year, sometimes things don't work out as you want them to, but if you let them go, decide that you are done, you'll be okay.
I'm bailed out, and you drag me back in? My lawyer's gonna have a field day.
Yeah, well, the truth is, Hopper, your pizza guy story checks out.
Then why are you harassing me?
Because you raped Shannon Page.
You're crazy.
Think so. Maybe you should start thinking about protecting your own.
You know, if this is what happens when you get thrown off a case, I look forward to the next one.
Thanks.
You did a nice thing.
He did a nice thing.
I didn't do it alone. There are 2 soldiers here for the body.
Right. You, done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Here you cut Shannon's rapist.
Yeah.
So no date tonight?
No date tonight.
Everything okay?
I don't know. I gave voice to Shannon Page today. Made people believe her. A lot more important than not having a date, right?
Well, you got a date now. It's a new place around the corner. Got steaks this thick. What a treat.